What's going on? This is Jam, and in this dance dynamics tutorial, I'm gonna be teaching you how to do the jazz split and how to slide back up out of it. The jazz split is one of the most popular dance moves being done in many different styles. In this video, I'm gonna break down the technique and give you tips on how to execute it properly and safely. Let's do it.
Jam, jam, here comes the man, hot damn.
All right, so before we jump into the technique of how to do the jazz split, make sure that you warm up and you stretch your body first. This is so important because the jazz split is really dynamic and is pretty risky because we're gonna be going up and down and jumping down on the ground. So make sure you stretch your hips, stretch your legs, and warm up your body, as well as put on knee pads if you have them. Being safe is the first and most important thing before we actually learn how to do it. So make sure you do that, and let's jump into the technique. The way we're gonna start the jazz split is actually we're gonna start in the landing position, similar to how we did in the knee drop video. And if you haven't seen that, I'll go ahead and put a link right there. In that video, I go over some things that will also be helpful in this tutorial as well. So let's go down to the ground. So the reason why I'm gonna teach you from the landing position first is we need to understand the positioning of our body before we actually jump into anything, okay? So the landing position is gonna be just like this, okay? You can pick whatever leg you wanna do. I like to land with my left leg out and my right leg bent, but just pick whatever is more comfortable for you, okay? So all we're going to do is sit just like this. Okay, so I have this leg out straight and this leg is bent. And one thing to note is my foot is flat like this on the ground, okay? And I'm gonna be using this for grip, all right? So we're in this position. Now, the more flexible you are, obviously this is a split, so the more flexible you are, the easier it's gonna be. But you don't necessarily have to be that flexible to do it, because I actually am not too flexible in my hips, but I can still do it just as well because of the technique, okay? So let me break this down for you. From this position, I'm gonna teach you how to get up first, okay? After I teach you how to get up, then I'll show you how to drop down, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be focusing on my feet planting into the ground. I'm gonna use my body to generate power and momentum to help lift, okay? You can do this with just your legs, but only when they're strong enough. I recommend starting with momentum, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna pop up on my knee. So from this position, I'm gonna go up, okay? And then from here, I'm gonna go back down. This is the basic drill that you'll do to be able to start building strength in your legs and in your hips to improve on your ability to do the jazz split, okay? So from here, I'm gonna come up and sit back down, all right? Up with the body, up on the knee, and come back down, okay? Now the next drill is now we're gonna go all the way up on the foot. So I'm actually gonna stand up for a second. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. So the goal is to get to this position right here. So my legs are basically in this like pre-split. I'm like halfway down, and then I'm going to, from the ground, get up to this position, okay? So from here, I'm flat, foot is planted. I'm gonna use my body to lift myself up here, okay? So now I'm in this position, this open split, and I'm gonna come back down. Again, up, here, and down, okay? So when I'm doing this drill, one key point that I wanna point out is what I'm doing with my legs is I'm focusing on almost closing them. So I'm using the muscles here on the inside of my leg to squeeze down and in, okay? And that's what allows me to be able to push myself up off of the ground. So this foot and this foot are pushing into the ground like this, okay? And then as well as I use my body to come up here, yeah? So, whoop, right here, I'm like pushing in this way. My heel's going in, this side of my foot is going in. And then I'll just come back down and sit. Once again, come up here, okay? And back down. I recommend practicing this as a drill to be able to strengthen your legs and understand how your body is incorporated in the move for you to get up and to ease yourself back down. So this is your first step before we actually drop into it, okay? Now that we know that basic drill, now I'm gonna show you how to drop into the split, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to drop in and stop, okay? Just down. What I like to do is just add a little kick in the front. It's kind of like just a classic traditional way to get into the split. So we're gonna add this kick here. Now, just like we did in the knee drop video, we're going to kick. From here, I'm going to jump out, okay? I'm not actually gonna jump all the way down. What I'm going to do is go halfway first. So as much as you can split, you're going to go to that position that we ended in from the drill, right? So after we got up, we're in this position here. Your feet are going to land first. This is really important. So your feet land first. From here, you're going to ease yourself down to the ground. You're gonna use your muscles to control your way down, all right? So back up from the top. I'm gonna go from here to here to here, okay? And if you do it that way, you don't actually have to use your hands, but I recommend if you're new to this, putting your hands down on the ground, okay, to ease yourself down. So what I'll do is I'll kick here, I'll jump open, and then ease my way down. So my hands actually touch the ground first here, and then I can ease myself down. And when you're doing it quicker, using your hands is gonna help. So if I do it with full tempo, it'll look like this. Here, here. And I have my hands down just like this, okay? One more time without my hands. Boom, boom. Just like that. So that is the technique to go from standing down into the jazz split. Now, what I'm gonna show you is how to slide back up. And this is the move that everybody wants because it looks super smooth when you do it right, and your legs just slide right back up, making it look really effortless, and I'm gonna show you how to do it, okay? So we're going back to the first drill that we did, and to the point that you're gonna be closing your legs in, okay? So from the start, I'm gonna kick here, okay? Like I start, I'm gonna go down into my split. Now, right when you hit the ground, you're going to use your body again. This is the most important part. You have to use your body to pull yourself up. What that does is it creates space. So as I pull myself up, it creates space for me to close my legs. And I'm going to be focusing on these muscles right here to close as much as possible. So instead of just coming up to this position, I'm gonna close them as hard as I can to slide up here, okay? The key is to be able to do it right away. So right when you hit the ground, you need to bounce up and close your legs. And it really helps to use your hands when you're doing this because your hands are gonna let you control the stop on the ground and push you back up off the ground to be able to close your legs, okay? This isn't something that you can really do slow, so I'm just gonna demonstrate it for you right now, okay? So I'm gonna start with the kick, drop down, and slide up, all right? Like that. So I know I might make it look easy, but it actually is fairly easy when you understand the principles, okay? So let me just recap them for you. When you land halfway into your split. Don't just land all the way down, okay? So you need to land in this position here. From this position, you're going to ease your way down. You're gonna put your hands on the ground first, ease your way down, and right when you land, you're going to bounce your body up, remember, from this here, all the way up to your feet, and then you're gonna use your body here to slide them in. And when you put it all together, it looks like this. Just like that. So the jazz split doesn't necessarily belong to any one style, and you can use this move in whatever style that you choose to do, whether it be hip hop, popping, locking, house, or even contemporary. You can take this move and use it with whatever style that you do. But I'm gonna give you a demonstration of me using the move while I'm dancing, and I'm gonna do it in the style of locking.
Come on.
so much for checking out this dance tutorial. I really hope that you learned something, and if you did, please hit that like button for me, as well as leave me a comment and let me know your feedback on this video. As always, shout out to the Drop Dance Studio for hosting this tutorial, and please subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and click that little bell icon right there so you always get notified when I put out a new tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!